Welcome to this lecture. We will start with regular expressions in Django URLs in this lecture. So let's first of all discuss what exactly regular expression is. A regular expression, also called as regex, is a sequence of characters that define a search pattern. And these provide a very powerful and flexible way to define patterns and match specific strings. It can be usernames, passwords, or phone numbers. In our case, we are going to work with the URLs. Let's now have a look at the components in a regular expression for Django URLs. The first one is a caret symbol. The caret symbol anchors your regex at the start of the string, means that the pattern must match from the beginning. Then you have the dollar symbol for anchoring the regex at the end of the string, means that the pattern must match until the end. Forward slash is used as a separator in the URL patterns. Then we have the parenthesis that encloses a group of patterns and is often used for capturing groups, which will allow you to extract the parts of the URL. Further, we have the syntax, which defines a named group, and this is used to name a matched pattern so that it can be easily referenced inside the view. So let's have a look at what exactly this syntax is. So here question mark P is actually a special syntax indicating a named capturing group, and name here is the name assigned to this capturing group. We are going to discuss more about this later. After this, we have a shorthand character for representing digits. Then we have a shorthand character for spaces. After this, we have a character set for defining digits. There is not much difference between this character set and the shorthand character D. It's one and the same thing. Then we have, for representing the alphabets, capital alphabets and small alphabets, we have another character set here. Further, we have a character set that matches any alphanumeric character, which is equivalent to A to Z and 0 to 9. Then we have hyphen character set, which will allow you to have hyphens and underscores in the URL. Further, we have the two quantifiers, that is plus symbol and an asterisk symbol. The first quantifier, that is this plus symbol, will match one or more occurrence of the character set, means that you will have to specify the parameter. It would be mandatory for you to specify the parameter in this case. While the asterisk symbol is a little different from the plus symbol. This is also quantifier, which will allow you to match 0 or more occurrence of the character set. So here in this case, your parameter will become optional and not mandatory. Now we are going to implement regular expressions in URL inside Django. So let's have a look at with regular expressions in Django URL. We need to first of all import a class called as repath. So that can be imported from Django.urls module. Right. Now after this, we can define a path. We need to use repath. And now we have our very first syntax, a very first component in the Django URL for regular expression. We need to write R, that indicates the regular expression. Then we have to use inverted quotes, use the caret symbol that will always anchor at the start of your URL. We need to use some prefix, let's say user, put a slash as a separator. Then we actually need the capturing group, inside which we are going to put the parameter. So we have to put the special syntax question mark and then P. Specify your parameter, that is your named group. Let's say I'm writing here username. I need the username. Well, it looks quite similar to the paths that we have already used. Let's say if you have a look here, these were the dynamic URLs that we used. So these are the route parameters. But right now we are using regular expression, and we need to restrict the user from using certain kind of inputs. So for this, we will allow the user only to enter only alphabets. For this, we have a character set as A to Z, which can be small, and A to Z, which can be capital. Now after this, we need the quantifier. Quantifier can be either plus symbol or the asterisk symbol. We are going to use for now a plus symbol, which will match one or more occurrence for this. Right. So after this, we need to specify the end of the URL. That can be done using the dollar symbol. We are done with the URL, and then now we need to specify that what function should be used. Let's say I'll use user underscore profile as the name of the function. Now let's get back to the views.py, and now inside this we are going to specify our function. Let's write down def, and the name of our function is user profile. We are going to pass request parameter, and now second parameter will be this one that we have specified in the capturing group. So come back to the views file, and we will specify here username. We are simply going to print a message using HTTP response F, and we need user profile as we are going to print username. Let's check for any errors. So there are no more errors. Let's get to the URL. So we are going to write username slash, we will be writing user slash user, then the name of the user. Let's say I'm putting Raj. User is the prefix and Raj is the name of that username. So you see that your profile, user profile is Raj. Now let's try to make some changes into our URL and try to understand what exactly is happening. Inside the URL, we have used this plus symbol, which is the quantifier, in order to match one or more occurrence. Let's say if I am inside the URL, if I am not specifying this Raj, so it would say that page not found. But let's say I really do not want to specify any name. I want this parameter to be optional. In order to make this parameter optional, you need to put an asterisk symbol. Now after you put the asterisk symbol, again come back and reload your page. It still says page not found. The reason for this is, can you see that there is a slash in the end? This slash is mandatory to put. So one way is that you better remove this. You can first check that whether this works this way. Yes, it works. It will just not print the name of the user because you are not providing it. But yes, it works because you wanted it to work. Alright, come back again. Now specify the end of your URL, and that is by putting the dollar symbol, because this is the actual syntax, a technical syntax for regular expression. Let's say you really want to have this syntax in your URL. So for specifying this slash in the end, you make it optional. Now what it means that your parameter, that is your capturing group, will now become optional because of this asterisk, and also in the end you don't have to put this slash. So you are making this also as optional by putting a question mark symbol. Now get back again and check. You reload, you see that it's not printing anything, but the page is working for us. In the same way, if you put here Raj or any other name, it will print it for you. All that is that your parameters is now optional. So the main reason for specifying the question mark symbol was to make your trailing slash optional. But still, if you don't want the trailing slash optional, you can remove this. And now you can come back to the browser. Don't specify anything. You see it's page not found, but you have made your trailing slash compulsory and your parameter is optional. So it means don't provide anything as the parameter, but put a trailing slash. Now when you put the trailing slash, it will show you user profile. But actually this thing won't make any sense, so it's much better to remove the trailing slash by putting the question mark symbol because question mark will make it optional. Right. Let's discuss a little more about the quantifiers. The another function of these quantifiers is to repeat the characters of your character set. So right now I'm using A to Z, that is both small and capital. Let's say if I'm removing this asterisk, like we don't want to use any asterisk or plus sign. So what it would mean if we go to the URL, let's check out. Now if you go to the URL slash user name, let's say you are writing here Raj. Well, it's not taking it because you are not able to repeat your characters. Let's say if I am writing Aman, not able to repeat the characters. Let's say if I am just writing A, it will print just A. If I'm writing Z, it will print just Z. It's not trying to consider any other character. Let's say if I write C, it will print C. But when I'm trying to repeat the characters, it's not considering it at all. So that's the reason we are using these quantifiers. So hope now you have understood the purpose of these. Let's consider one more example. Let's say we have a shopping website example and we as an administrator want to print the item ID. Okay, so let's copy the same path and we will be making changes into the same. Let's change the prefix. I'll be writing here item. Let's change the name of the capturing group and let it be item underscore ID. Now since this is ID, we might want this to be only numeric value. So let's say we can have 0 to 9 character set. You can use 0 to 9 character set and better make it mandatory by using the plus symbol, and now we don't require this question mark at all. The slash, the trailing slash will automatically come when you go to the URL. Alright, let's change the name of the function as well. This time, let's say I would like to have item detail as the name of my function. Right, let's get back to views.py. So we will be copying the same function and let's make a few changes. We will first change the name of the function as item detail. Change the parameter, let it be item ID. We'll change the message as well, item ID, and change the variable as item ID. So let's check for any errors. There are no errors, and then now go back to the browser, write item and then slash any numeric value. So you're going to get the result as item ID. And at the same time, try to write ABC. So it will not get it because you are using the character set 0 to 9. There is one more way to specify the character set, that is 0 to 9. You can better use slash D, that is the shorthand character for digits. So go to the URL and specify item and write, let's say 1, 2, 3. So you see, again you're getting the result. Let's try to consider a variation of the same example where you might want that your item ID must contain exactly 3 digits, or let's say exactly 4 digits. So you need to put curly braces and specify the exact number of digits that you want. Let's say if I put 4 here, it means that the ID will not contain more than 4 digits or less than 4 digits. It would be exactly 4 digits. So let's have a look here. That if I write here item slash, you write 1, 2, 3, it will not consider it. But let's say if you write here 4, 5, 6, 1, which is having 4 digits, it will consider. You try to write 2 digits, 45, it will not consider it. But let's say we just want that at max we can consider 4 digits, but minimum let's say it should be 1. So you can restrict it by using the upper limit and the lower limit. Let's put a lower limit that it should be 2, minimum 2, and at max you can consider 4. So it means that it can take 2, it can take 3 also, it can take 4 as well, but not more than 4, but not less than 2. So you write here 45, it will consider. You write here 4, 5, 7, 4, it will consider. You write here simply 4, will not be considered because that's less than 2. You try to write something which is more than 4, that is also not going to be considered. Let's now proceed to another character set where the character set can allow you to have alphanumeric values. That is, you can have word character. So means that using a word character, you can be allowed to have alphabets, you can have digits, and in case if you want hyphens and underscores, you can use hyphen here. So this is called as the word character set. And use a quantifier, either a plus symbol or an asterisk symbol, depending upon whether you want it to be optional or mandatory. I'm putting it plus symbol because I need repetition, that is why. So let's check on the terminal if there is any error. There doesn't seem to be any error. So let's go to the URL, and now this time we can have both alphanumeric, means we can have both alphabets and we can have numeric values at the same time. Let's say if I write here ABC 1 2 3, it will consider. So you can also have ABC, something called as ABC underscore 1 2 3, or let's say ABC hyphen 1 2 3. Let's consider now a third example where we will be specifying 2 capturing groups instead of 1. We will be considering the example of a restaurant. Let's say you are asked to specify the category of the food, and you are asked to specify the subcategory as well. For example, if you are putting desserts inside the category, then inside the subcategory you can have a cake, you can have a candy, or so on. Right. So let's have a look now. I have already considered this path, and you can have a look that the prefix used is restaurant. So our first capturing group will be the category, which is specified as category, a named group, which can have alphanumeric values along with underscores as well as hyphens. And you want this to be a mandatory group. Alright. Then we have the second one. Inside the second one, we have subcategory, which can also accept alphanumeric values along with hyphens and underscores. But this time, this is an optional parameter. For optional, you also need to make your trailing slash as optional. So put a question mark here. And this indicates the end of your URL. The function name that we are using is restro_detail. Let's have a look at the function now. So come to the function. Inside the function restro_detail, we are having request, category and subcategory, and we are printing the category and the subcategory. Let's check any problems. Okay, so there are no problems. Let's get back to the browser and specify restaurant. Let's say I'll be writing here desserts. Alright, so it's printing category as desserts and subcategory as nothing. And this time, let's say if I am writing, let's say I'm writing cake, so it will print that cake. Now one more thing, the point is that if you are not specifying any subcategory, so can we just simply print a message that no subcategory provided? Because right now we are getting a blank value. We do not need a blank value, though we have made it optional, but we don't need a blank value. We need that subcategory is not provided. So let's make some changes inside a function. Let's make a very small change here. You can use a condition that if there can be, first of all, multiple ways to specify the same thing. You can have a condition as subcategory if it's null, like if it's empty string. So if that's the case, then you can print a message that category is category and subcategory is not provided. So let's check for errors. No errors. Let's get back to the browser, and we are not specifying anything. Let's say this time I'll be writing here North-Indian. So category is North Indian and subcategory is not provided. Great. Let's have another way of doing the same thing. You can also use the not keyword by using not subcategory. So check for errors. No errors. So go to the browser and reload. It will print the same thing. In the same way, you can customize your messages in case of optional parameters if we are not providing. You may also want your capturing groups to accept, let's say, spaces or any other special character. So if you want something like that, then you can use a \s, that is the shorthand character for space. Similarly, you might want to use some other special character, let's say anything like percentage or ampersand or so on. And hyphen it is already accepting. So let's check for errors. There are no errors. Go to the browser and try to write some special character that we have already specified in the capturing group. You can write ampersand and you can see it is accepting ampersand. You put a space, now it will be able to accept spaces as well. So this way how it works. That's all for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to discuss error handling in Django.